It's time to give the people what they want, another adventure in the Mass Effect universe.
There's a first time for everything.
We're in the first act of recruitment missions. Where we go is up to you, Joe.
You say that, but you've been telling me to go to Omega all day.
Well, I mean, you can try to do grunts and jacks without upgrades if you want. I won't stop you.
He's going to get eaten up in any recruitment mission he selects. That Casa Locust isn't going to do him any favors.
You guys keep underestimating me, but I did pretty good in Mass Effect 1. You said so yourself, Donald.
Yeah, I retracted all my compliments after what you did to Ashley.
So Omega it is, huh, Joe?
This is where we were supposed to start after all.
Then we'll have a few assignments to take care of before we head off to recruit your team members.
Barack, tell me right now, is there a sex scene at the end of these side missions or not?
No, Donald, no sex scene. We're here on business, not to partake in the local festivities.
Ain't no way we get to see more action at the galactic seat of government than we do on a lawless space station in the lawless region of the galaxy.
I'm not trying to bed down with anyone on Omega. You think you're going in for fun and you wake up and all your money is gone and you're missing one of your kidneys.
Welcome to Omega.
Wait, what the hell is that Solarian's name?
Looks a little questionable to say.
I'll say it as if I'm afraid of being canceled. It's Fargut.
Hello, Mocklin.
Mocklin. They were just randomizing the alphabet here, weren't they?
Probably. Neither of these characters have any further interactions in the game. They exist simply to tell us to go to Aria.
I mean, we don't have to go see her.
Yes, the hell we do. If not for the missions, then to at least look at her.
Setting aside that we can only unlock Dossier Archangel by talking to Aria, it's also a part of the lore that all new arrivals to Omega must pay their respects to the Pirate Queen herself.
At least when you pay respects to Aria, you get someone who's honest with you and not someone who'll jerk you around like the Council.
Bro thinks Aria T'Loak, the ruler of organized and unorganized crime in the Terminus system, can't and won't jerk you around the moment she thinks she can benefit from it.
At least Arya will make it quick. With the Council, you gotta sit there and listen to them drone on and on about bullshit instead of just getting the work done and over with.
Up ahead is Zaid, if you want to go ahead and recruit him, Joe.
Easiest recruitment mission of my life.
Damn, I like this guy already.
Uh-oh, I see Barack gearing up to start yapping.
My yaps are everyone's favorite part of the videos. Looking at the character template for Mass Effect 2's development, the prototype Zaid isn't as clear as it was for Miranda and Jacob. But there's a character called the Mad Bomber, who had elements that blended into Zaid.
Doesn't the Turian recruit a demolition expert on his team before they get squad wiped?
Yes, Garrus had his own bomb expert. The Mad Bomber's shared characteristics with Zaid are being borderline suicidal crazy and being a bit off their rocker. The bomber would need state-of-the-art technology to help us on the suicide mission, so Shepard would need to break into high-security Black Ops bases to acquire it.
Well, no matter what Gramps' deal is, it's good to see him giving a Batarian the boot.
I know it's in character for our Shepard to hate Batarians, but isn't it kind of weird to hate them all universally? We don't even know this guy.
Oh, nah, I knew you were a Paragon player, Joe, but I didn't know you were this soft.
If you think I'm going to be nice to Batarians here, you're crazy. I'm just asking, that's all.
Well, it's kind of hard to want to treat Batarians with any amount of kindness when we only ever see the worst of them in this game, not to mention how slavery is a core part of their society.
Listen, I'd have been willing to alter my stance on Batarians if we'd gotten one on our squad. Arya's assistant Bray isn't enough.
Don't a lot of people kind of wish Zaid were a Batarian? I remember seeing that sentiment a lot when I first started Mass Effect.
It's a common take within the community. With us operating in the Terminus system away from both the Council and the Alliance, there would be no better time than to team Shepard up with a Batarian. It could have been a great way to paint the species in a new light. Don't get me wrong, I like Zaid. It's just a bummer to get another human instead of a new alien squad mate. Having said that, within the cut characters template, there is a Batarian gearhead squad mate. Originally thought to be a terrorist, we'd find a geeky, socially awkward tech expert.
Giving me a Batarian with social anxiety would not keep me from clowning on them.
Social anxiety or not, that's definitely a squad mate we could have used.
Well, this Batarian here is being hauled off to whomever paid Zaid to get him.
Good riddance.
I'll be locked and loaded next time you're ready to get some killing done.
Omega, what a piss hole. At least it keeps you on your toes. I've had to come here on business before. I feel like I need a shower afterward, in addition to normal decontamination.
Damn, Miranda, tell us how you really feel.
No surprise, Miranda hates this place. It goes against everything Cerberus stands for. Plus, humans aren't treated all too kindly on Omega.
That man has been waiting in line longer than either Joe or I have been president.
Arya keeps a strict limit on the amount of people let into Afterlife.
What are you looking at?
The man whose day I'm about to ruin.
Now that's what I like to see, Joe.
Color me surprised.
I told you I got nothing but smoke for Batarians.
Unreal respect to Kasumi and Miranda for being ready to start blasting.
I've got stuff to do anyway.
Yeah, stuff like running home to mommy. Lil Bro is not built for Omega if he folds that quickly at the slightest bit of pressure.
His buddy here trying to get himself killed.
With any luck, these 3 clowns live in the Bahak system.
That's close enough.
Hello, Mama.
Donald, you thinking about breaking the only rule on Omega?
Rules are made to be broken on God.
I don't know what's crazier, that Donald wants Arya or that I want Jack.
Hey, Jack is at least kinda attainable for a quick lay, if nothing else. You are not getting into Arya's bedroom.
I like me a good challenge. We just gotta talk her up.
You'd have better odds going after Arya's daughter, Lizelle.
Whoa, run it back. Arya is a mother?
I'll take either one, to be honest.
Lizelle is a young Asari who's deep into her maiden stage, so she'd probably oblige. Or she would if she weren't lover to Paul Grayson.
Ain't Paul Grayson a red sand addict or something? I can win her over.
Maybe, maybe not. Not that it matters. Lizelle isn't exactly alive anymore.
Why would you tease me with something I can't have, Barack?
I am Omega.
Look, Arya said the thing.
The awkward silence after I am Omega did not leave the desired effect.
She's a bit eccentric, but she's got style.
Come to me. I'm the boss, CEO, queen, if you're feeling dramatic.
And clearly, Arya is feeling dramatic.
Can I be honest about something here?
Joe, honesty isn't something we're particularly good at.
Go ahead, Joe. Let's hear it.
Arya is kind of f***ing mid as a side character.
Another day, another L take.
I'm actually with Joe on this one.
You two just hate to see a strong woman at the top.
My vice president is literally the first woman given the honor.
Kamala Harris being your VP is not the flex you think it is.
Anyway, she's boring as f*** in Mass Effect 2. And she does f*** all in Mass Effect 3. She literally needs Shepard to get Omega back after she loses it herself in the comics.
Joe, you're reading the comics now?
My doctor suggested I take up reading to keep my brain working, so I figured I start with some Mass Effect material.
So she has a few issues. Arya is still a boss who rules Omega with an iron fist.
Donald, forget that Arya is attractive for 2 goddamn seconds.
Arya definitely commands a lot of authority on Omega, and she's a powerful Asari commando. But her whole deal is also a bit of a mirage.
It's catching up to her.
She doesn't directly deal with people face to face most of the time, so she doesn't get caught slipping up and making mistakes.
You're gonna make some enemies.
For all her cunning, she never notices Kai Leng infiltrating Omega during Mass Effect Retribution, and she doesn't know the Shadow Broker has agents on the station either.
Okay, counterpoint, and I'm gonna need you to hear me out on this one. She's pretty.
Well, I guess Donald wins this
They're
one.
using
I
a
always
private
do.
room for recruiting. Just over there. I'm sure they'll sign you up.
You should find a familiar face down here, Joe.
Commander Shepard?
Grandma, no, wait, I don't remember who this is.
It's Helena Blake, the crime boss you spared at the end of UNC Hostile Takeover.
I don't expect you'd remember.
She was right. Joe didn't remember.
I died a lot that episode. You can't blame me.
Fist from Cora's Den would also be here nearby if I hadn't spilled his Kool-Aid all over the floor near the end of Part
What
2.
brings anyone to Omega? Opportunity, success, failure?
A fun time in the club?
I find this place suits me. I can bring it a certain air of civility, I suppose.
An air of civility?
You're on Omega.
Blake, within 1 minute of arriving here, we found a bounty hunter kicking in the face of a Batarian.
I don't know about you, Joe,
I
but
know
kicking
better than to go
Batarian
back
sounds
on my
pretty
word
civil
with
to
you.
me.
You convinced me to turn my life around. I'm a social worker now.
Social work on f***ing Omega of all places?
Gotta respect the grind, if nothing else at all.
It's actually
Quite the
genius.
opposite, actually.
Every
This
day,
place needs it
you
more
got
than
some
most.
poor dumbass who
Doing
got
the good
robbed
work in a place
or
like
watched
this
their family
requires
get
that
torn
one
apart by
understand how
Vorcha,
things truly
and here's
work.
Miss Helena Blake
Which
coming in
makes
to
me
offer therapy.
And you know she's committing highway robbery with her fees, too.
And she's a former crime boss. She sounds like a kind old grandma from down the street, but you know she stays strapped up.
You know what? I got unreal respect for Blake. She probably out here living like a queen.
The alternative to this would be integrating herself into Arya's camp.
Smuggling and
A decent position, I'm sure, but one that's worse and offers less pay than doing social work on Omega.
Thank you.
Though I'm sure Arya sends her people for her share of Blake's profits.
Blake is a smart woman. I'm sure she and Arya get along well. You know, I think I could go for something to spice the night up.
Oh, I don't know about that, Joe.
Yeah, it's gonna get real spicy here in a second.
Remember when I said humans weren't treated well on Omega? Well, here's a good example of that.
What? It's not like the Batarian is discriminating. He's just pouring us a nice tall drink.
You can't actually be this naive, right?
Oh, that drink was too spicy.
Well, this is part of the assignment called Omega, Batarian Bartender. The Batarian's name is Forvan. He gives us a poisoned drink, which was supposed to kill us.
This is perhaps the single biggest insult upon my name, and this slight will not be tolerated.
Damn, you sound kind of serious there, Joe.
The bond between bartender and customer is sacred, and that Batarian filth just spat all over that.
Well, you can spin back if you want to, Joe.
Oh, I'm gonna. Just wait.
Any explanation as to why Shepard survived this?
Probably because of Cerberus's enhancements. We are partially synthetic, after all.
I wonder if Shepard could enjoy a little bit of Rincall with Rex and Grunt.
Despite it hitting aliens like ground glass. Rincall is, in fact, drinkable by a few alien species. Elcor and Quarians can withstand it, though the latter will need to take immunosupplements and antivirals for weeks to prep. Shepard can take it too, but it'll knock them on their ass.
Skip the chemistry lesson. I'm about to run a fade on that Batarian.
That's for sure. Give that Batarian bastard what he deserves.
Do I know you?
Oh, you know me, buddy.
No, humans all look the same.
Excuse me?
All you humans look the same is crazy work.
Buddy done f***ed up now.
So I guess I can offer a little insight to this NPC here. The reason Forvan poisons humans is because his brothers were stationed on Becky, a planet that Jacob Taylor was sent to investigate. The Batarians there were defending a horde of Element Zero, which amps Jacob's biotics. He and his squad killed all the Batarians, hence Forvan poisoning humans.
The sob story isn't making me feel bad about killing him, but why did Jacob do this?
Does there need to be a reason? Jacob killing Batarians actually elevated him in my eyes.
If you bring Jacob to this confrontation, he'll claim the Batarians were terrorists targeting the Citadel. This event takes place in the Mass Effect Galaxy mobile game.
Well, whether Jacob is right or not, that bartender can have fun looking up at us with his brothers.
Another small assignment here, we have Omega struggling Quarian.
I like to imagine Shepard developed a bit of a soft spot for Quarians due to our journey with Tali.
Ah, my favorite Mass Effect dialogue options, the one where you scare people into giving you a discount.
No need to scare the kid, he's just a guy down on his luck on Omega.
Most people on Omega are down on their luck.
But you can't breathe a word of it to Herod.
Of course.
Then we have a deal. Maybe I'll at least sell something to you.
What brought a nice kid like you to Omega?
My pilgrimage.
Omega is a pretty dumbass place to go on your pilgrimage.
He's lucky all that happened to him was he lost his money.
You can see how that turned out.
I can imagine Aquarian's environment suit is filled with tech that would pay a hefty sum here on Omega.
Should I pay his way?
That would be the easiest method, but if you want to get into some beef with an Elcor, you could choose to go squeeze Harrot.
Paying for his ticket off this shithole won't teach him any lessons. You can't always rely on Commander Shepard to pull up and save you. I'm open to leveling the playing field for the kid, but he's gonna have to pull himself up.
I could go talk to Herrick for you. Get him to ease up.
I won't stop you. If you can convince him to lay off, then maybe I'll get off this station after all.
Tentatively excited. Welcome, human.
Does that big bastard have a cigar in his mouth?
Do they even have mouths?
They're kind of slats or something. How he's able to get that cigar to stick there is beyond me.
If I had made such a deal, I would certainly not be inclined to discuss it.
Hey, brother, just because you're built like a tank doesn't mean you can talk to us that way.
Concern of yours.
What if you and I make a deal? You let him set his own prices, and I won't break your legs.
I know Shepard is built different and everything, but Elcor legs are literally 2 times the size of our bodies. Can we even break them?
Whether we can or not, Herrod, having barely contained terror, pretty much proves he's a giant bitch.
It's all about how you carry yourself. Even the biggest guy in the world will falter when faced with the right kind of energy.
I offer you a discount on my own wares.
And a discount, that's all you had to say.
Have a fine.
I told you to get lost, lady.
All right, time to get on with the recruitment mission.
The morality requirement to get past this guy peacefully is really low. So many people probably don't experience this. But if you lack the necessary renegade or paragon points, you'll have to kill this guard and shoot the rest of his buddies on the inside to make it into quarantine.
Apparently this guy forgets that we have a rocket launcher on our back just because we can't charm or intimidate him.
Funny enough, he'll incorrectly say we're carrying a rocket launcher if we're holding any other heavy weapon. Which is pretty funny if you're carrying heavy hitters like the Kane or the M490 Blackstorm.
Take a good long look at me. Do I look like a looter?
Us loot things in a BioWare RPG? No, never.
Like 99% of our gear in Mass Effect 1 was looted from secure crates that we had to hack into.
Finders keepers.
I'll call the guards. They'll let you in with no trouble.
Wait, you're stopping me, but not them? You son of a bitch.
You don't have a grenade launcher, lady. Get lost.
Smart Turian knows to respect bigger gun diplomacy.
We're all human. The plague won't affect us. Let's do it.
Funny bit about that. You can bring your alien squad mates with you if you recruit them early enough for this mission.
Poor Garrus. Joins up with Shepard for the first time in 2 years, and we take him to catch COVID-21.
Our son Grunt would be able to tank it, no problem.
There are voice lines for Thane, Tally, Samara, and even Legion if you try to bring them into the quarantine zone. As some of you may be aware, Mass Effect 2 was originally going to let us recruit any member of the overall squad right away. But the game was too large, hence it being split into 2 discs.
Wait, that means you can bring Tally into a plague zone of all places? Do they not even care about her compromised immune system?
Ironically, Tally might be one of the safer aliens. As long as her suit isn't punctured, she wouldn't get sick. Garrus and Grunt, for example, do begin to cough on your way to Mordin.
I'm surprised you remembered to activate tech armor, Joe.
I will have a good time today, mark my words.
All of that set up just to tag the wrong ability.
Thank you, Donald. I'm just preparing myself.
Not a bad throw at all. I'm impressed already.
Don't pat him on the back too hard, especially when this is the easier recruitment mission.
See, off to a good start already.
Oh, wow, you beat 2 Blue Suns mercs?
Take control at its most basic. Pile the bodies in the street and burn them.
Maybe that's what we should have done in 2020.
Whoa, what the Donald?
Burning the bodies is better than what Grunt would have said if we brought him here. He'd smell the burning bodies and start talking about being hungry.
Leave him alone. He's a growing boy. He needs his protein.
Yikes, real bad looking here.
The way people be talking about the COVID lockdowns, you'd think this is what they were experiencing. Oh yes, I survived COVID, they say. Motherfucker, you were chilling out getting caught up on One Piece or something.
The One Piece is real.
My brother in Christ, you sound like you just coughed up one of your lungs.
Good thing we brought a deck of cards. Human.
Oh, look, another one.
Another one is insane, Joe. I like it.
Got this man coughing all over our shoes and everything. Hasn't anyone taught Batarians to cover their mouths?
The disease is airborne, Joe. We're breathing it in right now. Humans are just immune.
I mean, we can steal your shit while you're still breathing if you want.
Lies drip from your mouth like the blood from my sores.
Sores? I thought Batarians just looked like that.
For all to see. Your species is the only one that does not succumb to the virus. Yours and the wretched Vorcha.
Vorcha are immune to all disease, thanks to their special non-differential cells, which grant them the ability to adapt to any environment. The trade-off for this seems to be their lifespan, however. Vorcha only make it about 20 years.
Damn, nearly every Vorcha we meet must be on their last few years.
Damn it. Damn you. Can't.
Joe?
Oh, no. My slow old man hands and brain, I couldn't react fast enough. What a shame.
Carry on, Brandon, carry on.
So much for not being a looter, huh?
He won't need it where he's going.
We're coming up on the last fight before we reach Mordin, Joe.
Nothing I love more than third-partying a firefight.
I would have left the Blue Suns alive to make things easier. Uh-oh, Joe.
Slow-ass reload.
So much for having a good day.
You do know there's a melee button, right, Joe?
Forget the melee. He could have reactivated his tech armor, called on Miranda or Zaid to attack, or at the very least, fallen back behind cover instead of standing there like a fish out of water.
All right, I get it. I had options there that I didn't use.
You're still misplaying this combat arena.
How in the f*** is this your favorite game in the trilogy when you don't even know what position to take? Get on the high ground.
Leave me alone. I'm playing it the way I always play it.
You are not going to get through this playing it like you're on casual.
Hey, viewers, go ahead and guess how many deaths Joe is going to get this episode.
Don't bother guessing. I'll tell you right now, it's only one. I'm about to pop off. Help!
Help how? You're literally cooked.
Fucking stun lock.
What was it you said earlier? You're about to pop off?
The only thing popping is Joe's skin after he got baked by that Vorcha.
It's bullshit. Why do they just destroy you so easily?
Brother, even on the low difficulties, blood-packed pyros do that. This isn't even about the difficulty setting anymore. You're just bad.
It only took one episode for Joe to retake his crown as the leader in deaths.
Oh, shit. He figured out how to use the melee key.
I'd be proud if he weren't insistent on doing things in the least optimal way.
God damn, how many enemies are they going to throw at me?
About damn time you learned how to use overload to make them self-destruct.
I'll give Joe one thing. He might have to slam his head against a brick wall to do it, but he'll eventually figure out how to find the light.
I hate to have to bear bad news, but I'm pretty sure there are 2 Krogan meant to spawn here that haven't yet.
Oh God, have mercy upon me.
High key, you're getting what you deserve, and it still isn't enough.
You know what, man? What if I just leave?
What? You can't leave. Where are you gonna go?
Into this room over here. I don't know where it leads, but it's better than here.
Pretty sure that leads to a pair of looters.
Thank God the combat can right off now.
I'm like 95% certain that running in here will not end the combat.
I still hear gunfire.
The music ended. I'm in the clear.
No, I'm pretty sure you're not. But go ahead and believe that if you want.
Well, I guess that Batarian that died wasn't too wrong about looters.
What are you doing in this apartment? Did you kill that Turian?
What, the guy on the floor? Nah, the plague took care of him. We're just here to take a full accounting of all his worldly possessions.
Stealing from the dead. That's pretty low.
That's rich. We're playing an RPG. Stealing from the dead is the name of the game.
Hey, you can't blame me if people drop all their possessions when they die. Might as well pick them up.
What items do you guys think you'd drop if someone killed you?
Donald would probably drop Big Macs or something.
A Big Mac, a quarter pounder, and a good old fish delight.
I've been meaning to ask you about that.
Oh, what?
There is no menu item called a fish delight, Donald. Did you mean a filet-o-fish?
Whatever it's called, the fucking fish sandwich, you know what it is.
Nobody needs to shoot nobody. We're stopping, okay?
Oh, is the combat music starting back up?
I told you it wouldn't work.
Can't run from all your problems, Sleepy Joe.
Did they respawn?
That'll teach you to leave without finishing your food.
Oh, shit, he's learning how to combo.
If Joe weren't so goddamn inconsistent, he might actually be pretty decent at the game.
Well, I don't know about that, Barack. I just want to remind you he died twice here and has made absolutely zero progress since.
I'm starting to regret the Sentinel pick.
Sentinel is fine. We probably needed to select an ammo power for our bonus at the start of the game. Warp ammo would be clutch here. You're almost there.
You know what? Who says I can't run from all my problems?
No goddamn way do you make it.
The pulse from the tech armor coming in clutch there.
Unbelievable.
You know what? I figured it out. I'm just gonna run whenever possible. I don't have to fight anything in this game.
Ain't no way that's allowed.
Running through combat to get to the next checkpoint is a perfectly acceptable strategy in this game.
But if he does that, he'll die less.
Not necessarily. It takes a lot of great game sense and cooldown management to dodge combat. It's real easy to screw up, especially when we don't have tactical cloak or biotic charge. I'll be interested to see how Joe goes about this.
At long last, we're finally meeting my goat.
BioWare let it slip with the Batarians, but they did good damage control with Mordin. Not only does he look cool, he doesn't sound like Pika from the Dressrosa arc.
BioWare had plans on quite a few different Solarians before settling on Mordin, it seems. One of them was known as the Techno-Hippie, a really old Solarian who was a technical savant with the depiction of a stoner.
They almost gave us a squad mate who's a red sand junkie and let it slip by.
The way Mordin talks, it seems like they didn't stray too far from the idea.
Another more fleshed-out cut character is the Solarian assassin. He would be obsessed with avenging the deaths of his ancestors. Interestingly enough, Captain Kirahi and his squad would be hunting the assassin down for murder. And it would be up to Shepard to convince Kirahi to stand down, or we'll have to defeat them.
Imagine going to all that work to keep the captain alive, just to kill him for a squad mate.
The Solarian assassin would follow us, but if we can't get their loyalty, he'll eventually choose to prioritize his own mission over helping Shepard, which could result in him leaving the party.
I already like this guy more than the bird.
It's plain to see how these blended into the Mordin we know now, though. Mordin is a genius, of course, and ruthless enough to be an assassin.
With a sprinkle of strengthening and defending the Genophage.
Trying to kill everyone. Need to get power back on before district suffocates.
I'm kind of surprised Arya didn't have this place powered down and suffocated to stop the plague to begin with.
Okay, I know Arya is ruthless, but she's not that damn monstrous. Besides, Arya needs people on Omega. Without them, it's just a hunk of metal and rock.
Ruthlessness is good, but you gotta be measured. Pressure a situation too much and it might just blow back in your face.
Two more things about Mordin here. There is evidence that suggests he was intended to be a biotic. There's cut voice lines where Mordin talks about creating the biotic bubble for the long walk on the suicide mission.
How many goddamn biotics were they planning on adding into this game?
Enough to make you screw up and pick anyone that isn't Jack or Samara, apparently.
The last thing is that there's other cut voice lines that tell us Grunt and Mordin would have had a confrontation similar to Jack and Miranda, as well as Tally and Legion.
There's no way a confrontation between Grunt and Mordin doesn't end with some roasted Solarian legs.
Cap, Mordin would probably kill Grunt with some nerve attack or something. He ain't sweet like Jordyn from the Citadel. Mordin got that dog in him.
Nothing says what the argument would have been about, but I'm sure the genophage would have factored itself in somewhere.
Joe, I'm only going to do this one goddamn time. Activate your fucking tech armor.
Would it have killed you to be a bit nicer when you said that?
I about damn near choked to death saying it at all. Don't press your luck.
Oh, okay, Joe, I like what I'm seeing. Good flanking position.
Flanking? I'm just trying to see if I can run out of here.
Bro thinks this is a pacifist run of Undertale. You can't talk your way out of combat here.
I'm pretty sure running here is going to be a lot harder than just killing everything.
Don't underestimate my ability to hold sprint.
You're in a really bad position, Joe.
I can make it through this. Once the Krogan is down, I'll make a break for the stairs.
Zaid just got cooked, and I have a feeling you're next on the grill.
You're boxed in, a Krogan on one side and a blood-packed pyro on the other.
I'm safe. Stop trying to trip me up.
You're not going to be safe as long as you ignore that Krogan.
Don't forget about the pyro on your other side.
No, not again.
That's another death, 100%.
You gotta be fucking kidding me with these dumbass, stupid-ass, lame-ass flamethrower Vorcha.
You really needed to pop that Vorcha's armor and then make it explode with overload and then deal with the Krogan.
Well, what can you expect when I got the orange devil on one shoulder whispering in my ear about the Krogan over and over again?
I'm gonna also point out here how you neglected to raise Zaid with Unity, which is why the Pyro kept pressing you for free.
I was going to point that out, but I didn't think Joe literally forgot to revive his squad mate.
Okay, all right, lock in Joseph. You can do this. Come on, man.
Flashbang grenade ain't shit if you can't throw it.
God fucking damn it!
Turns out Joseph absolutely did not have it.
Joe, I love you almost like a brother, but this is legitimately starting to drive me insane.
What did I do wrong that time?
Literally everything, no joke.
To narrow it down, you could try activating your tech armor.
It literally broke right before I died.
Ain't no way.
Joe, the cooldown still continues counting down when tech armor is active. You could have thrown it right back up and moved to better cover.
I'm about to start calling you Jacob the way you don't watch your damn shields.
Okay, Joe, please don't die a third time in this one area.
Lock in, Brandon.
All right, I'm ready. Let's do this. I will not die to another pyro.
If you didn't activate tech armor here, I would have thrown you out of the window of this room.
Am I close yet? It's got to be over soon.
Almost. Just clear the stairs. Whatever you do, do not try to run.
Or do try to run and we get to sit and watch you do this same location again.
Joe, for the love of God.
I got it this time. I'm clear.
Barack, if he dies again, I'm going to have to head out. It's over.
Not this time. I know what to do.
Getting Joe to activate the tech armor is like that episode where SpongeBob tries to teach Patrick to open a jar.
Dude, you were actually so close I can taste it.
Is it over?
Thank fucking God it is over.
Donald, I hate to bear bad news, but we've got quite a lot of combat left.
I am deeply starting to second guess this whole thing.
Don't worry. I think I finally got a handle on things.
Brother, you've died as many times in this one mission than I did in the entirety of our Mass Effect 1 playthrough. You do not have a handle on things.
Anyway, here's Mordin's assistant, Daniel.
Sasuke Uchiha has fallen on hard times since the end of the Fourth Great Shinobi War, it seems.
Bro got turned into a fucking tree.
You guys, Yuri Lowenthal, who voices Daniel here, has a much longer rap sheet than just voicing Naruto's boyfriend.
Another day, another group of Batarians further justifying our hatred of them.
Buddy, the last time a Batarian tried this, I let the hostages die just so I could torture him.
He does not walk away.
Daniel, my boy, no need to piss yourself.
It is pretty stupid to bargain when we're wearing body armor and you're in your streetwear.
I do the same to you.
Let him go. You got what you wanted, human. Are we free to go?
We had a deal.
Whoa, what the f, Joe?
Are you fucking kidding me here?
What, we had a deal. I always uphold my end of any bargain.
Barack, what's the over-under on Secret Service running in here and stopping me from folding Joe into a pretzel?
Huh, interesting question, actually. What would Secret Service do if one president attacked another?
Pretty sure active president takes priority.
Yeah, well, you better count your days.
I'll go right away.
Jesus Christ, their voices are like nails on a chalkboard.
BioWare were really in their bag when they made the Vorcha. They said, what if we made the ugliest motherfuckers in existence?
Interestingly enough, all Vorcha across the games are voiced by Mark Meer.
What the hell did the director tell him? Do Skeletor but always yell?
I guess that's why we never get a Vorcha squad mate. They'd have to make Mark fully voice two prominent characters in the trilogy.
Another interesting fact about the Vorcha, An email on the N7 side mission called MSV Estevanico tells the Alliance didn't encounter the species face-to-face until 2184. However, this seems to contradict information in Mass Effect Paragon Lost, which features Vorcha Blood Pact members fighting against an Alliance strike team on Fail Prime during 2183, shortly after the Normandy SR-1 was destroyed.
Which came first, Mass Effect 2 or Paragon Lost?
Paragon Lost was released in 2012.
Then the contradiction is with the movie, not with Mass Effect 2's accounting of the timeline.
That's fair. Last thing on the Vorcha. Their offspring with Asari have an allergy to dairy.
What the hell does Mordin even mean when he says that? Dairy in what regard? Human dairy? Vorcha dairy? Asari dairy? Or is it Solarian dairy?
Weirdly, this implies that every species in the Milky Way wound up using the milk of other animals for consumption.
I'm assuming dairy refers to the products created from the space cows, which seem to be a universal source of meat and dairy in the Milky Way. Some cut dialogue from Mass Effect 1 will have Ashley claim space cows have a high milk yield. The meat is a bit tough, though.
I just want to point out how casually I'm clearing this final area.
It only took you 4 goddamn deaths to figure it out.
Gotta be one of my least favorite areas in the trilogy because of the enemies on the high ground. Gotta give Andromeda one thing. We'd be able to jump up there in that game.
They designed the game this way to nerf Vanguard. They knew if everyone was on an even playing field, it'd be free eats for me and my fellow Charge brothers.
Screw it, I'm not dealing with the campers.
Not this guy trying to avoid combat just to die again.
Actually, it may work here. You don't have to fight anything. All you have to do is activate the fans, and then the mission will end.
Then activate the fans I shall, because I'm done with these Vorcha.
Joe, it's right there. You can make it.
Get me the hell out of here.
He's gonna die.
Nah, he's clear. Literally can't lose.
Woo, let's go, brother. Another successful mission for me.
If 4 deaths in one mission is a success to you, I hate to see what you consider a failure.
On the bright side of things, with Mordin on our squad, we'll finally get access to research upgrades, so things can only go up from here.
That's definitely Cap. You went and got the Casa Locus so we wouldn't be stuck using the lame-ass M4 Shuriken, and Joe still managed to get absolutely f***ed up.
We should probably change our bonus power to warp ammo or something, to be honest.
Risky. Would have killed them myself.
I told you Mordin got that dog in him.
Professor, how can you say that? You're a doctor. You believe in helping people.
Little bro, he's a doctor on Omega. He doesn't have a choice but to be hard like this.
I can't believe this kid lasted so long being this naive.
Don't worry, in an email, Daniel will prove to us he's toughened up. He keeps Mordin's mechs activated and doesn't let the Blue Suns take over security.
Welcome to the Normandy, Professor.
Is Jacob's role on the Normandy to give people the opening tour or something?
It's not like he does anything else here.
Hey, keeping our weapons polished is a pretty vital job.
Not so human-centric.
Nah, Mordin, you're here because you're about the only alien that's crucial to recruit.
Don't talk about Garrison Tally that way.
What? I'm just telling the truth. You can get through the suicide mission with exclusively the human squad mates. Sure, you might lose a few people during the hold the line section, but still.
Entire colonies disappear without a trace. No distress signals are sent out. There are no signs of...
Why are they pacing around?
Gotta keep the player's attention, like those videos where someone is playing Subway Surfers.
Every man, woman, and child is gone.
Gas, maybe? No, spreads too slow.
I love you, Mordin, but we don't have time for the yapping. I have another mission to do.
Oh, yay, we get to watch you struggle some more.
Where to next, Joe?
Back to Omega to recruit Archangel.
3 or 4, I guess.
Way too generous. There's going to be at least 6, probably 8.
What are you guys talking about?
Oh, nothing. We're just guessing the amount of times you'll die this mission.
Donald, 8 deaths is way too crazy. It'll be harder to achieve that than it would for him to get through the mission without dying.
Brother, you sat here and watched the Mordin recruitment mission with me, and you're still this optimistic?
Hey, I'm right here, you know.
Oh, do you want in on the bet? It's not like you can fix it. So what's your guess, Joe?
I'll die 0 times on this mission, mark my words.
Doubtful, but give it your best shot, Joe.
Yes, of course. Can't risk being captured like colonists. Need to identify, neutralize technology. Need samples. Which way to the lab? Shepard, how can I help?
Let's talk to our favorite scientist, Solarian, first.
Love talking to Mordin. You get plenty of dialogue with him, even though he isn't a romanceable squad mate. A lot of them have a lot of the good dialogue behind their romances.
Yeah, such good dialogue, like Jacob talking about the prize.
You said you were in the Special Tasks Group. What kind of research were you doing?
Not simply research.
Mordin loves yapping about his top-secret government work.
It's a wonder how he got security clearance the way he loves to talk about stuff.
Took water, tissue samples from Krogan colonies.
I worked with an STG captain named Kirahi. His team helped me destroy Saren's cloning facility on Vermeer.
We should have left him on Vermeer instead of Ashley.
Jury-rigged explosive. Always got job done with limited resources. Good, Captain. Bit of a cloaca, though.
A cloaca. Wait, do Solarians lay eggs?
They are amphibians, aren't they?
Solarian females lay a dozen eggs once a year. Interestingly enough, unfertilized eggs produce males, and fertilized eggs produce females. Social rules among the Solarians prevent all but a fraction from being fertilized. So 90% of Solarians are males.
No wonder they have such a low sex drive. It's nothing but dudes in the species.
Does it even matter? Male and female Solarians are nearly identical.
But he is like a hamster on coffee.
Mordin kind of reminds me of the squirrel from over the hedge. What is his name again?
Hammy and I can see it. Coffee would probably have him burn through his entire lifespan in 20 minutes.
I assume everything is going well up here?
Unlike Mass Effect 1, we get some development with Joker, so talking to him will be well worth our time.
It's mostly just him developing a crush on the hologram next to him.
Drive settings while engines are powered and in use, Mr. Moreau.
Just the space equivalent of not removing a flash drive without hitting the eject option.
Yeah, except the risk is getting level 6 cancer from space radiation and not losing a few files you probably have copies of.
Kids staring at the back of your head in comp side. You just want to punch him, but he's special.
Whoa! What? Joker's disabled too. He's allowed to say that.
Funny enough, the special kid would probably beat Joker's brittle ass.
It'd be a one-sided version of the fight between Jimmy and Timmy.
I hear you're recruiting.
Time to join the mercs on this job to get Archangel.
Joe, you do remember you're here to rescue the guy, not kill him, right?
Of course, what kind of fool do you take me for?
Who's next? You three look like you could do some damage.
This might be the nicest interaction we've had with a Batarian all episode.
Mind you, this guy is planning on sending us into a meat grinder just so he and his friends can kill one guy.
Standard fee is 500 credits.
500 credits? That's it?
Has anyone ever found out how much one credit is to a US dollar?
There's no official information on it, but using the price of the model Mass Effect ships that can actually be bought, someone theorized that 1 credit is equal to about 16 cents.
Where do we go?
So this pays us $78.40.
There's gotta be better work out in space than this.
Send in the next one.
Hey, is this where I sign up?
You look a little young to be freelancing.
He looks about damn near the same age we do.
You're not old enough with that voice crack.
I guess it would have broken the bank for BioWare to create a kid model for the game.
I wish they'd have considered that before making the model for the Star Child. Jack's students at Grissom Academy look like whole-ass adults, but they put in the work for some kid absolutely no one cares about.
Joe, why are you building up our Paragon actions?
I've been Renegade all episode, and I don't want to see this young guy die.
Barack, we're so goddamn cooked on the morality.
Don't be such a drama queen. There's plenty of time to course correct.
Do you need something?
Let's get to know the local merc groups.
Eclipse aren't as disciplined as the Blue Suns and don't have raw muscle and resilience of the Blood Pack, but they have the best technology. Which makes sense. They're primarily made up of Asari, Solarians, and humans.
No Batarians and no Vorcha? Sounds like Eclipse is the gang for me, especially when they're so Asari-dominated.
Doesn't seem like Eclipse keeps their Asari members on Omega, though.
The Solarian and human members are probably treated worse given that Eclipse is an Asari-founded gang. The Asari members get to live it up on Ilium.
You're in the wrong place, freelancer.
I don't like this guy.
It's a shame we don't have Grunt for this. Garm will ask him why he's following a human, and then shoot his Vorcha teammates head off to make a point about living and dying without fear.
Is he really a teammate if he casually executes them just to make a point?
The Vorcha in the Blood Pack are viewed as nothing more than cannon fodder. Which does make it interesting that we somehow end up with a Vorcha in charge of the Blood Pack in Mass Effect 3.
Everybody loves us, and everybody hates us. This freelancer out of here.
Bringing Zaid here will give us a little extra flavor with the Blue Suns.
Get this scum out of my face.
Tarek, what's eating your ass?
Oh, right. Zaid has ties to the Suns.
Ty's Unk here is literally a founder.
We worked together once.
Zaid's role in founding the Blue Suns is dubious, to say the least. He was born in 2145, but the Suns were founded in 2160. It's already extremely questionable that a mercenary outfit would respect a 15-year-old boy, no matter how gifted.
Well, they can't have respected Zaid that much, considering they double-crossed him.
Yeah, except when Zaid is introduced to us on the old Mass Effect 2 website, he's said to have served in the Alliance.
Good thing you know.
Which means Zaid somehow enlisted in the Alliance, left it, founded the Sons, left that, and then built up his reputation as a bounty hunter.
What's Derek gonna do if the infiltration team fails?
This ignores the fact that minimum enlistment age for the Alliance is implied to be 18, since the games make a point of saying Commander Shepard enlists at 18.
The other more damning thing in regard to Zaid founding the Sons is that the first contact war began in 2157 when Zaid would have been 12 years old. So he really only had 3 years to create the Blue Suns with Vito.
This is starting to hurt my head. Did Zaid create the Blue Suns or not?
He created the Suns, but the only way to make this make any logical sense at all is to disregard his year of birth.
I don't really believe Zaid is 39 or 40 years old anyway. I mean, look at him. Bro's aged like the interstate highway system.
Zaid's got to be at least as old as Captain Anderson or Admiral Hackett for his backstory to make any sense.
So let's all agree he was born in the 2130s then?
That adds up. Even if you suggest Zaid was born as late as 2139, he'd still be 18 years old, just in time to serve in the First Contact War. Then he joins Vito and forms the Blue Suns when he's 21. He gets betrayed by the time he's 26, and then Zaid spends 20 years bounty hunting before he joins us for the suicide mission at 46 years old.
Great, good theory crafting.
He went after Tarek at his home.
Sergeant Kafka.
Wait, is that his name? The only thing I remember about him is that noise he makes after we electrocute him.
Joe, you are going to do the right thing here, right?
Of course, I might be a Paragon guy and all, but Batarians, the upcoming Renegade react is cold as ice, and it's objectively the intelligent thing to do.
Might be the smartest thing I've heard you say in all my years.
Maybe your last chance.
Bro is not doing himself any favors smoking in our face.
Just for that, I'm going to jam it in there extra hard.
Pause.
About to be smoking on that Kafka pack.
Need a fight. I just plan the attacks and fix the damn gunship. You freelancers get the privilege of...
Target is in sight. Where a go?
The target has been in sight for days. That's why you clowns have been getting eaten up by one guy.
Miranda just standing there looking pretty, which is all she got to do.
Archangel's got quite a surprise waiting for him.
He's not the only one, my four-eyed friend.
Gotta get her back to 100% before Tarek decides he needs her.
I wonder what this does.
Your Paragon decisions earlier in the episode have been forgiven.
You're working too hard.
How it feels to chew 5 gums. Stimulate your senses.
God damn, bro. Did they have to show us that Kafka has the whole fucking bakery back there?
Donald, what the hell is wrong with you?
I don't know, man. I might need to unpause that pause from earlier. My stance on Batarian's gonna have to change if they've all got a backside like that.
We need to recruit Samara as soon as possible. Donald is getting worse and worse by the minute.
That kid I saved would have gotten shot instead of that bald guy.
We'll give these guys a surprise of our own. Archangel?
Hey, buddy. We cleared the bridge for you. The least you could offer is a thank you.
To be honest, the infiltration team was kind of dog shit. 2 guys died right away and we killed the other 4.
And there goes the last one. Where the hell was he at?
I don't know why the Blood Pack, Blue Suns, and Eclipse didn't all just storm the bridge. There's way too many for them to be shot down all at once.
I'm thinking they all wanted the honor of dealing with Archangel. Let's be honest, those gangs aren't working together. They're just all shooting at the same thing.
What, Archangel is Garrus? Who could have guessed? Anyway.
It looks like the writers always knew Garrus would be making a return. But there's some additional information here in the character's template that was left out of the game. Garrus would still be a vigilante on Omega, but instead of beefing with the local gangs, he'd be finishing off the accomplices of Dr. Saleon.
Probably the right move to drop that. The mission as is perfect for introducing us to the 3 factions of enemies we'll be fighting all game.
As shown in the Mass Effect Foundation comic, Garrus was truly at the end of the line here. He'd run out of thermal clips and was having one last chat with his father, right before noticing Shepard and the squad pull up to save the day.
The Turian running out of thermal clips is exactly why I hate the ammunition retcons.
Even I'll agree that's an L for Mass Effect 2.
The whole thing with thermal clips canonically just littering battlefields and being dropped by dead foes is also just a lot less interesting.
I'll never forgive the Geth for this. Who the hell cares if you can technically output more consistent damage with thermal clips? Ammunition being generated by shaving down sand-sized bullets from blocks of metal is not only cooler, but results in essentially infinite ammo anyway. Overheating isn't that big of a deal, just be smarter.
Oh, but you don't understand. They had to make Mass Effect more similar to the typical shooter, instead of letting it be its own thing. This is why I vibe with Mass Effect 1 so much more.
I would have taken Mass Effect 3 with the old overheating mechanic. It doesn't happen often, but running around looking for ammo is ass.
But it's a plan.
Well, we're at the lame part of this mission now. Time to take a nap.
It's not that bad, Donald.
Oh yeah, I just love sitting behind this wall, shooting at enemies as they stupidly cross a bridge.
Well, at least this is one of few missions where we can't say this would go by a lot quicker if we called in the Normandy.
Says who? Why don't we call Joker up to just bomb this location?
Pretty sure we'd clap up some civilians, even assuming the Normandy could navigate the area without crashing.
Screw them. Everyone on this space station is a criminal in some regard.
Uh-oh, Joe's looking like he wants to get through this mission without dying at all.
Don't sweat it. This part is the easy part. All he has to do is stand in one place. Let's see how he handles the basement.
Side note, we're kind of utterly obliterating the gangs, aren't we?
Our actions with Garrus here will result in quite the power vacuum here on Omega. With all three of the local leaders dead and their numbers cut down to virtually nothing, Aria will gain even more power on the station. But on top of that, another smaller gang called the Talons will start to rise.
Oh yeah, the Talons, the fourth gang that totally existed this entire time and weren't suddenly dropped on us in Mass Effect 3.
Well, actually, Joe...
Are you about to tell me that the Talons were introduced in a novel that takes place before Mass Effect 2?
I think he's about to tell you the Talons were introduced in a novel that takes place before Mass Effect 2.
As previously stated, Mass Effect Ascension was published in 2008, and the Talons play a small part in it. Cerberus operative Pell uses a warehouse unused by the Talons for his base of operations on Omega during 2183. The Talons were known for being the best option for freelancers who want to gain a foothold on the station. They charge high rates for rent and protection, but they left their clients alone and never asked too many questions. Pretty decent gang relative to the big three. They kept the predominantly Turian district on Omega stable and prevented riots.
Barack got us like that episode of the Boondocks where they strapped Stinkmeaner and Tom's body to a bed saying, "Read, brother, read."
You scared me there for a second, Donald. I thought you were going to actually say it.
Say what? Read, nigger, read?
Oh my fucking God, bro.
What was the point in using brother if you were going to say it anyway?
What? Barack gave me the pass.
You gave him the pass and not me?
First of all, no, I didn't. Second of all, the pass is not a thing. Third, I'm not defending you for that one.
You're kicking ass, Shepard. They barely touched me.
You already know, Garrus. I've got your back.
Please. If he'd seen you during the Mordin mission, he'd have lost all hope of surviving.
Well, we'll get to see how things shape out when we get to the basement.
Maybe. Let's see what they're up to. They've reinforced the other side heavily.
Not heavily enough to stop us from blasting through with this grenade launcher.
Garrus really should have invested in some heavy weapons. A single Mantis rifle ain't gonna cut it.
What the hell was that?
Damn it. They breached the lower level.
All right, gonna see Joe get absolutely clapped up down here.
I told you to quit underestimating me.
In this case, it's not so much underestimating you. The basement of Dossier Archangel can be a pain in the ass if you do it earlier in this first act of the game.
Going to the left side first, I knew you wouldn't brave the right.
I'm just getting this side done because it's faster, not because it's easier.
Beware, Joe, there's a blood pack pyro in this room.
I'm not afraid of those things anymore. Shooting me even though I'm in cover is crazy.
Clutch pause and thank you for remembering your tech armor.
No way is this guy learning how to play the game on the fly.
Good f***ing job, Joe.
Where's the flamethrower one at?
Huh, that's odd.
Are you sure they didn't remove it?
I can recall facing it right at that corner in other playthroughs. Plus, my notes tell me it wasn't removed from the Legendary Edition.
By notes, you mean the wiki.
I'm absolutely coming out this basement with no deaths.
Save the big talk for the garage side.
This side can be a real pain in the ass between the long walk to the shutter button, combined with the endless stream of enemies, and Garrus's depleting health.
I once brought the Avalanche heavy weapon in here and it made things a cakewalk.
I don't need that. Just watch and you might learn something.
Learn from you? Brother, you need to go back to the basics before you talk to me.
It's looking like Joe might just get through this.
No, he's gonna choke like he always does.
Man, this room was some light work. You gassed this up for no reason.
Yep, he's got it.
How are you all of a sudden able to get through things?
It just takes me a little bit to warm up, that's all.
Shepard, they're coming in through the doors.
Should have planted some explosives or something, Garrus.
I don't think he had enough time. He kind of got jumped here.
This is where Birdman's team gets squad wiped, right?
Indeed, you can see a few bodies laid out on the floor. These are presumably the members of Garrus's team. You know, all of them except for that dirty rat, Sidonis.
Huh, I guess the Turian and I have something in common. We've both been betrayed.
Heads up.
Well, shit, I guess Joe was right. He really isn't going to die on this mission.
Actually, Insanity Dossier Archangel is the harder mission.
Evidently not. I'm starting to get tired and I'm still clearing things.
Well, whatever. You still gotten up to 9 deaths, giving both Barack and I a pretty decent amount of breathing room.
Don't get so cocky, Donald. You've got your fair share of missions next episode.
Joe,
and
you might want to
focus. You won't
focus.
have the easiest time either.
You're literally about to die.
No, I'm not.
Yes, you are.
What the f was that?
Joe, why in God's name did you step out of cover to activate your tech armor instead of just activating it in cover?
I didn't mean to leave cover.
Well, you did. And with that, you've gotten as many deaths in this single episode as you did in all of Mass Effect 1. Congratulations.
He about damn near got another one.
Had the tiniest sliver of health I've ever seen.
I don't want to play anymore.
And just like that, his mental has been boomed.
Just finish the mission, Joe. Not that much longer.
I've had enough of this.
This might backfire on you.
Oh, fuck! Never mind, I win.
He's dead, Joe. Relax.
You can never be too sure with Krogan. They're resilient.
Last round of combat for Joe and for the episode.
In hindsight, we probably should have stuck a grenade or something to the bottom of the helicopter.
Huh. I bet Tarek isn't too happy to see his old buddy Zaid actually helping Archangel.
I just want to remind y'all of something. We can defeat this aircraft boss using nothing more than small arms, tech abilities, and biotics. Yet for some stupid-ass reason, we're incapable of fighting Kai Leng just because he summons one to blind us on Thessia.
Barry, I'm always down to slander Kai Leng and Priority Thessia. But can we make it to Mass Effect 3 before we do that?
Sorry, I just couldn't help myself. We're going to be clearing a few more bosses like these, and the whole thing on Thessia just occupies my mind.
Hold up, is Jenthra carrying a goddamn M76 Revenant? Respect, I didn't know she came packing like that.
The gun is about damn near the same size she is.
Garrus, watch out.
Bro has the whip on silence mode. How did he not hear it?
Garrus surviving this has to be extremely questionable.
Not at all, because unlike you, he actually watches his kinetic shields.
Well, kinetic shields isn't stopping that.
Garrus. Bro's in La La Land right now?
Dude thinks he can just take a nap while we fight his battle for him.
Trouble ahead.
Yeah, you know what? F it. I'm not dealing with this thing.
Wait, bro. I'm gonna need that heavy weapon ammo next episode. The helicopter is so easy.
You're such an amazing gamer. I'm sure you won't have any problems at all without the grenade launcher, Donald.
I'm gonna remember that.
Ah, shit. Garrus went and spilled the whole gallon of blue raspberry lemonade Kool-Aid all over the floor. I can't believe he made the same mistake Nihilus did.
Turians and their bony, elongated fingers always dropping tasty drinks.
Guys, I think he's dying.
Oh no, anyway.
We're getting you out of here, Garrus. Just hold on.
Sounds like Garrus spilled a little bit of it into his mouth. At least he got to taste some. Shepard and the crew have to go back parched.
Commander, we've done what we could for Garrus, but he took a bad hit.
It's a good thing we recruited the doctor first then.
With surgical procedures and some cybernetics.
Oh, sweet. We're cybernetic buddies with Garrus now.
They didn't even let us ruminate on Garrus dying for more than a couple seconds.
Tough son of a bitch. Didn't think he'd be up yet.
Shows what you know, Taylor.
Eating a rocket and being up within the same day is pretty impressive.
Once again, Rex and the Vermeer survivor are seething.
Always ugly. Slap some face paint on there, and no one will even notice.
For once, I'm going to defend the bird. Our Shepard has no room to talk about who is and isn't attractive.
My glorious King Barden Joe Shepard is a 10 out of 10, Donald. I won't stand for your disrespect.
Always ignoring you and hitting on me. Time for you to get a fair shot at it.
Okay, never mind. I take it back. Need I remind you, Turian, that I was the one who had to pick between two potential romances while you were busy polishing the cannon on the Mako.
Cerberus, Shepard. You remember those sick experiments they were doing?
Oh, so someone does remember what we went through during Mass Effect 1.
Garrus absolutely would not vibe with being assigned to a Cerberus mission if Shepard weren't here. The Turian hierarchy naturally keeps its own watch on Cerberus, given its history with humanity overall. An extremist group like this could easily become trouble.
Well, that's it for me. I'm done.
5 whole deaths in a single episode is crazy work.
Like you'll do better.
You know what? Just to prove myself right, not only will I recruit the bald one and Grunt, I'll do the Horizon mission as well, and I'll do them all without dying.
That's a tall order, Donald.
And you better get ready to eat up, because I'll deliver.
Well, y'all heard the man. Tune in next time, but till then, stay safe out there, drink plenty of water, get some sleep, and we'll see you on the next one.